Hello, 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 YouTube world. It's Miss Patty with 4YourCNA, and we are here for another live CNA practice test game show. And before I get started, I owe you guys a huge apology, and I feel so bad about this. The last game show at the beginning of December, I totally missed, and I didn't give anybody any warning because, frankly, I didn't have any warning. Um, for those of you who don't know, we are in the process of liquidating our scrub shop. So I have a 2,800 square foot retail uniform store that is going out of business as of the 24th. So everything in there is being liquidated and marked down, and it's just been a madhouse. And it kind of came along suddenly. So it's this kind of situation out of our control. The unit that we're in, that we've been in for 18 years, is no longer available, and we're just not going to move the store. There's really no options out there. So in a very, very, very short amount of time, we are forced to liquidate everything. So I was in the middle of that chaos when I realized that, oh, today was the game show, and it was like 3 o'clock and I'd already missed it. And I feel awful. I feel horrible at standing you guys up, and I'm so, so sorry. So I really wanted to make sure I came on today and gave you the game show, and we'll go back to our regular programming in January. And this is actually kind of one of those silver lining things, because without that retail store taking up all of my time, it's going to free up some time to create some really cool things for you. And we've got some really neat things in the works. We just retaped all of the videos. We spent about a month in the studio. We retaped all of the videos, and I've got some really cool things coming with the videos. We're going to be doing branching scenarios, which means that you guys are going to be involved in the video process. So a clip will play, and it's going to ask you, what is the next step? And when you choose the next step, it's going to show you what that step looks like, even if it's wrong, and it's going to tell you why it's either right or wrong. So this is going to be really, really exciting. I'm super excited to be able to have the time to devote to it once this madness is behind me. So Christmas Eve is our last day in business. Please keep me in your prayers that I last another week through this. And then after that, I am all yours. And that is super exciting for me to be able to concentrate 100% of my time on 4YourCNA. So keep us in mind, keep us in your thoughts and prayers, because I need it this week. And we're going to go ahead and get started with today's game show. So let's see here. When you come in, give me a hi in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Hi to Jennifer. Hi, Blue. Hey. Hi, Hamdi. Hi, Elizabeth, Andina, Jessica, Priscilla, Darlene, DL. Yes. Yeah, Blue. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to do the weekly lives as well. So stay tuned. It probably won't start again until, I would say, February or March timeframe, because I've got to have time to get these videos edited, and that's a huge project. But yes, in February or March, we are hoping to do our weekly lives again. So if you don't know about that, stay tuned. I'll give you some more information about that as we get a little bit closer. Let's see here. DL says, here to say thank you for all your videos, which helped me pass my test. Now working, and feel blessed that I'm helping people through CNA. Oh, congratulations. I love hearing that. I love it. Okay, so let's jump right into today's. Now, I picked today's topic because of the craziness in my life, but I also picked it, we're going to talk about today's topic in a second. I also picked this because of a post I saw on Facebook today in one of the CNA groups, and it led me to this topic. And this is such an important topic for CNAs, and one that I don't think is covered all that well in most training programs. And you're going to see what I mean in a few minutes, but it is a category on the state exam. So if you look here, No, that way. Oh, okay. If you look here, you'll see that this is a testing plan. So it shows you all of the topics that are going to be on the state exam. And under role of the nurse aide is prioritization and time management for CNAs and basically planning your workflow. And because it is a topic on the state exam, and I really don't think that it's covered all that well in most training programs, a lot of CNAs or candidates have a lot of questions when it comes to this topic on the state exam. What kind of questions might we see on this particular topic? So I came up with 15 questions, and that's what we're going to go through today. 15 questions on prioritization, organization, time management, and how to plan your workflow through the day. Let's see here. Layla says, good morning, Miss Patty. I passed my written and skills test the 1st of December, and your game show helped me a lot. Thank you. Oh, congratulations, Layla. Thank you for stopping back by. Hi, Kelly. Blue says, Miss Patty, the Washington State exam questions have been updated, and I think asking some of them here are great. It's a lot of focus on care and ethics. Yes, and we're seeing a huge shift in questions that are less skill-oriented and more what we call the soft skills or that patient-centered approach. Good morning, Kelly. And let's see, time management, how to manage workload. Yep. Oh, Kelly, it's the first one live. Well, congratulations. Thanks for coming by. And let's see here. You made me think a time or two. Very good. Okay, so let's jump right in. So before we get into the questions, we're going to have 15 questions. Let's go over the prizes and the rules. Okay, so first we're going to start with the prizes. So first place is going to get a t-shirt. We have 3 to choose from. Now I'm going to have more coming up, but right now we have 3. We have this one. Is it this? No, I keep doing that wrong. We have this one that is CNA Care Core, and you can have the t-shirt in a variety of colors, but the graphic is white. Keep that in mind. Then we have this one, which is the first one that I started out with. It's CNA, but it's Become, Inspire, and Care. And this is probably my favorite one. And again, you can have it on a light shirt or a dark shirt. So you can pick your shirt color if you come in first. And then the third one is the one that I'm wearing today. This one. I know the lights are kind of glary, but it's a heart and it says Called to Care. And I wear this shirt all the time because on the back of it, I have the QR code for my live classroom live stream. So I wear this all around town all the time. But you wouldn't get the back. You're just going to get the front. I won't make you advertise for me. Second place, so that's first place. So first place gets t-shirt. You get to choose which one. Second place is going to be the card game, the CNA Principles card game. So remember, you are competing for real prizes. I'm actually going to give you these prizes, send them out in the mail this week. So this is the CNA Principles card game. It's a lot of fun to play. It's got a lot of strategy to it, but it helps you learn the principles that are important in CNA training. So it will help you on your test as well. Third place gets a badge holder and some motivational gifts. So those are the prizes that you guys are competing for with today's lesson. Now remember that some of these questions may seem kind of easy to you, especially if you've got really good prioritization and organization and time management skills. But you've got to be first to get the most points, so keep that in mind. So here are our rules. Each question will be displayed for 60 seconds. You're going to type your answer in the chat. So when I read the question, you're going to type in the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Don't type anything else, just the number 1, 2, 3, or 4. Quickest answer gets the most points, and it's only going to grade your first answer, so keep that in mind. Now, the program that I use is going to read the answers that you submit as they are received by YouTube. So you may see it in a different order on your chat screen than YouTube actually receives it, because there is a little bit of a time delay from the time you hit send until YouTube gets it. All right, so are you guys ready to go? Are you ready for this one? This is our last one of 2024. I can't believe it's almost 2025. It seems like we just did this a couple of months ago. So time does seem to be speeding up. So speaking of time, we're going to go ahead and get our timer started here. And we're going to start this in about 20 seconds. Yes, Kelly, you can do A, B, C, or D. That's fine. That's fine. You can do that. So 1, 2, 3, or 4, or A, B, C, or D. Just don't do words, okay? So here we go. You've got about 10 seconds. Get those fingers limbered up, and let's get started. Here's our first question. What task should the CNA complete first at the start of a shift? 1, stock supplies. 2, assist residents needing urgent care. 3, read each patient's entire chart. Or 4, deliver fresh water. So which task should the CNA complete first at the start of a shift? 1, stock supplies. 2, assist residents needing urgent care. 3, read each patient's entire chart. Or 4, deliver fresh water. So go ahead and lock in your final answer. Pay attention to the wording here. This one is tricky. Pay attention to the wording. All right, you've got 3 seconds. The right answer here, guys, is assist residents needing urgent care. Now, I know most of you didn't get this one right. Stocking supplies, it seems kind of reasonable, doesn't it? But that word urgent means that it has to take priority. Anytime you see that word urgent or emergency on a test question, that means that everything else stops. Keep that in mind. So yeah, we do have to stock supplies. We do need to deliver fresh water. We do not read each patient's entire chart. We read our care plan. So be careful about the wording here. Does that make sense? Be careful about the wording. All right. So nobody got any points on that one. I know, that's kind of sad. Nobody got any points on that one. So let's move on to question number 2 and see if we can do a little bit better. Remember, this is all about organization. So question 2. A resident is on the floor after a fall. What do you do first? 1, send someone and notify the nurse immediately. 2, help the patient stand back up. 3, look for broken bones. Or 4, complete your rounds. So a resident is on a floor after a fall. What do you do first? Send someone to notify the nurse immediately. Help the patient stand back up. Look for broken bones, or complete your rounds. So go ahead and lock in your final answer. You got about 20 seconds left. Lock in your final answers. Yeah, this one's not quite as tricky, is it? All right. 5 seconds left. And the right answer here is to send someone to notify the nurse immediately. We don't leave patients when they're in an emergency situation. We need to stay with that patient, but we've got to let the nurse know that something has happened, something is going on that we need their assistance with. We don't stand patients up after a fall until they've been assessed by the nurse. This is super important because you can make an injury way worse if you stand a patient up before they've been assessed. Looking for broken bones, yeah, that might be important, but what are you going to do about it, right? If you find a broken bone, what are you going to do about it? Your priority is to get the nurse there. And of course, we're not going to leave the patient and say, oh, I got to go complete my rounds, you're on your own. So 4 would definitely not be right. DL came in first on that one, followed by Priscilla, Blue, and Hamdi. Good job, guys. I know that one was a little easier. Let's go on to question number 3. Which of the following tasks should be done first? 1, taking a patient to an activity. 2, obtaining routine vital signs. 3, delivering food trays. Or 4, answering a call light. So which of the following tasks should be done first? 1, taking a patient to an activity. 2, obtaining routine vital signs. 3, delivering food trays. Or 4, answering a call light. You've got about 20 seconds left. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. What do you guys think should be done first? Go ahead and lock in your final answers. And the right answer here is answering a call light. Absolutely. Call lights, remember, are not just for routine, mundane, I want a blanket, I want some water, can you help me to the bathroom type of tasks. Call lights are there for emergencies as well. If your patient is sliding out of bed and needs help, they're going to hit the call light. If your patient is having chest pain, they're going to hit the call light. If your patient is nauseous and dizzy, they're going to hit the call light. The call light is there for them to call for help. Now, that help may be very routine, but it also could be very important. So call lights always, always take precedence over everything else. So Priscilla came in first on that one, followed by DL, Jessica, and Trey. All right, moving on to question number 4. Here we go. Which of the following tasks would have the greatest negative impact on the patient if not done? 1, encouraging a patient to drink water. 2, turning an immobile patient every 2 hours. 3, reporting a pulse rate of 58. Or 4, returning a patient to bed when they're tired. So if we don't do this task, which one would have the greatest negative impact on the patient? So if any of these tasks aren't done, they're going to have a negative impact. But which one would have the greatest negative impact on the patient? Not encouraging a patient to drink water, not turning an immobile patient every 2 hours, not reporting a pulse rate of 58, or not returning a patient to bed when they're tired. So go ahead and lock in your final answer. You've got about 5 seconds left. What do you guys think? Yeah, turning an immobile patient every 2 hours is the most important task that we have to do. And this actually is what caused the post on Facebook I was telling you about earlier. That's what this question came from, because it was a CNA that didn't turn patients that were supposed to be turned and got in trouble, not just by the nurse, but by the supervisor and the DON. And it's because if our patient is immobile and we don't turn them, they will end up with pressure sores, which can ultimately kill the patient. So they're very, very, very important tasks, but turning an immobile patient is the most important out of that list. So Zen came in first on that one, followed by Handy, Andina, and Priscilla. So you start to see how these questions might be worded on the state exam for this topic. Question number 5. How should you organize your day to complete tasks efficiently? 1, complete all minor tasks first. 2, complete all time-consuming tasks first. 3, complete your preferred tasks first. Or 4, complete the most important tasks first. So how should you organize your day to complete tasks efficiently? Are we going to complete the minor tasks first, the time-consuming tasks first, the preferred tasks first, or the most important tasks first? Yeah, I agree, Blue. Yeah. You don't want to, with bed sores, you don't want to mess around and find out on bed sores for sure. All right, so lock in your final answers here. And the right answer is number 4, complete the most important tasks first. Now, I made this one kind of easy for you. I mean, most important, that was the term I used. On the state exam, it may not be quite this obvious, right? Important means we got to do them quickly, right? They're important. The state exam may not word it this way. They may use some different terminology, but you always want to look at, when it comes to prioritization, we always have to make sure that we make important tasks a priority. So stocking supplies, yeah, that's important, but it's not as important as taking care of a patient who's in distress, right? All right, so Priscilla came in first on that one, followed by Trey, DL, and Hamdi. Moving on to question number 6. Here we go. What should a CNA do when a resident with an urgent toileting need calls for help? 1. Finish the task you're on, then assist. 2. Tell the patient they will have to wait until you're available. 3. Assist the resident immediately. Or 4. Assign the task to another CNA on your unit. So what should a CNA do when a resident with an urgent toileting need calls for help? 1. Finish the task you're on, then assist. 2. Tell the patient they have to wait until you're available. 3. Assist the resident immediately. Or 4. Assign the task to another CNA on your unit. You've got about 10 seconds. Go ahead and lock in your final answers. Here we go. Our correct answer is number 3, assist the resident immediately. Now, I want to talk about this really quickly. When we're prioritizing care, toileting to you might not be as important as toileting to a patient. And the reason is that you're young and all of your stuff still works pretty well and you're relatively healthy, which is why you're caring for others. When you are older or sick, your toileting system may not work as well. In fact, you may not be able to hold it as long. So in your mind, you might think, oh, they can hold it, but in reality, they can't. And there's a high embarrassment factor with soiling yourself. So if a patient calls for help with toileting, it's got to be given right away. So Trey is going to come in first on that one, followed by Cass, Priscilla, and DL. I'm going to have a training on toileting. I'm also going to have a training on prioritization coming up soon. Question 7. Rank the following tasks in order of importance. 1. Feeding, toileting, bathing, and routine vital signs. 2. Toileting, feeding, routine vital signs, and bathing. 3. Bathing, feeding, toileting, and routine vital signs. Or 4. Which would you do first? Routine vital signs, bathing, toileting, feeding. So rank these. It's the same four skills, but rank them in order of importance. Go ahead and lock in your final answers. You have about 15 seconds left. Now, there's a very good high probability you're going to get a question like this on the state exam, asking you to rank prioritization. All right, the right answer here is 2. Toileting always comes first. Always, always, always. Feeding, because patients need to be fed while the food is hot or cold, depending on what we're serving. Routine vital signs, that term routine means it's, well, when we can get to it. And bathing is going to be last. Bathing is important, yes, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. But when it comes to toileting, feeding, and vital signs, they're always going to be more important than bathing. So remember, prioritization means they're all kind of important, but which one has to be done first, right? What is the most important? So Gabby came in first on that one, followed by Priscilla, DL, and Layla. Good job, guys. Very good job. All right, moving on to the next question. Here we go. Question 8. When assisting residents with meals, you would feed a patient who has what first? Okay, so who are we going to feed first? Are we going to feed a patient with cancer first? With no appetite first? With diabetes first? Or with swallowing difficulties first? So when assisting a resident with a meal, who are we going to feed first? Someone with cancer? Someone with no appetite? Someone with diabetes? Or someone with swallowing difficulties? This is a hard question, guys. It is a hard question. So go ahead and lock in your final answer. And we'll see how you did. 5 seconds left. Yeah, the right answer here is diabetes. I know a lot of you put swallowing difficulties, and I understand why. But actually, somebody with swallowing difficulties is going to take a while to eat, and they're going to require your full attention. But somebody with diabetes really needs to be fed first. And that's because they may be on medications, such as insulin or an oral medication that is timed specifically to kick in when they eat meals, specifically when they eat carbs. So feeding a diabetic patient first is actually very, very important to make sure that that medication is working effectively. Okay, swallowing difficulties usually are going to be fed last because they need your full attention, and it's going to be a little slower. So Layla came in first, followed by Blue, Yergalem, and Jartu. Good job. All right, moving on to question number 9. What is the best way to manage a busy shift? 1. Only perform the tasks that you think are important. 2. Prioritize tasks by urgency. 3. Skip breaks to save time. Or 4. Assign some tasks to the nurse. So go ahead and lock in your best answer for the best way to manage a busy shift. Yeah, Blue, I know. I'm trying not to go there with them. Baby steps. All right, what is the best way to manage a busy shift? Only perform the tasks you think are important. Prioritize tasks by urgency. Skip breaks to save time. Or assign some tasks to the nurse. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. The title of this really should give it away. Yeah, we're going to prioritize tasks by urgency, right? That's what time management is all about, prioritizing tasks by urgency. So keep that in mind when you're answering questions on the state exam. Anything regarding time management is going to be all about prioritization and organization, so we can get our tasks done in the time that we have with the best possible patient outcomes. Now, I know that in the real world, you're not always going to have the time you need to be able to do everything that needs to be done, but CNAs do not assign tasks to other people, right? We can't assign tasks to nurses or to other CNAs. We have to get the tasks done that are assigned to us, or we're going to notify the nurse that we can't. Trey came in first on that one, followed by DL, Priscilla, and Hamdi. Good job. Very good job. Moving on to question number 10. During meal service, a resident starts choking. The CNA should, 1, check the chart for a DNR order. 2, perform abdominal thrusts immediately. 3, deliver the remaining food trays before assisting. Or 4, ask the nurse what you should do. So during meal service, a resident starts choking. The CNA should, 1, check the chart for a DNR order. 2, perform abdominal thrusts immediately. 3, deliver the remaining food trays before we assess the resident. Or 4, ask the nurse what you should do. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. You have about 10 seconds left. What should we do if a resident starts choking? The right answer here, yeah, you guys mostly got this one right. Perform abdominal thrusts immediately. And if you've paid attention in these game shows, if you've gone back and watched or if you've attended live, I actually ask this question a couple of different ways quite often. So, and I'm trying to make sure that during an emergency, you're not running to the chart to check for a DNR, because a DNR has absolutely nothing to do with an emergency. A DNR only comes into effect when the patient dies from that particular condition. So you guys did really, really good on that one. I'm super proud of you. Super proud. Emergencies require emergency intervention. In this case for choking, it's abdominal thrust. So that's what we're going to do to help this patient out. Great job. Zen came in first, followed by Priscilla, Andina, and Cass. Great job. Moving on, question number 11. How should CNAs handle interruptions while performing care? 1, identify the urgency of the interruption. 2, ignore call lights until you are available. 3, tell all patients they have to wait their turn. Or 4, immediately leave the patient you are caring for. So how should a CNA handle interruptions while performing care? So you're busy working with another patient, you're performing care, and there's an interruption. How are we going to handle that? So 1, identify the urgency of the interruption. 2, ignore call lights until you're available. 3, tell all patients they have to wait their turn. Or 4, immediately leave the patient you are caring for. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. And the right answer, yeah, you guys got this one right. Identify the urgency of the interruption. Sure, and this might mean that we're going to leave the patient we're caring for in a safe position temporarily. Make sure they're covered, make sure they're in the middle of the bed or in a safe position, and then go find out what that call light is all about. If they just need a blanket or a cup of water, yeah, take care of it while you're in there. But if they need something else, something a little bit more involved, hey, can you reposition me, or can you go get the nurse or something like that, you have to identify how urgent that request is. And then sometimes you can put them off and go take care of your patients. Other times you're going to have to intervene right away. Priscilla came in first, followed by Trey, Andina, and Cass. Yeah, that one was kind of hard, wasn't it? Kind of hard. All right, question number 12. Which task would have the lowest priority? So up until now, we've been talking about high priority. Which of these tasks would have the lowest priority? 1, reporting a patient's request for pain medication. 2, helping a resident with toileting. 3, encouraging a dehydrated patient to drink. Or 4, obtaining vital signs on a patient with dizziness. This is a hard one, guys. So which of these tasks would have the lowest priority? Remember, prioritization is all about ranking urgency. So we might be able to find the one with the highest, but which one is the one with the lowest? 1, reporting a patient's request for pain medication. 2, helping a resident with toileting. 3, encouraging a dehydrated patient to drink. Or 4, obtaining vital signs on a patient with dizziness. The right answer here is 3. Yeah, encouraging a dehydrated patient to drink. Now, I know some of you guys put some other answers in here. Let's talk about number 1. Anytime a patient has pain, that has to be reported right away. So that's got a high urgency. We've already talked about toileting. Toileting always has a high urgency. So number 2, that's a high urgency. And number 4, in this particular case, obtaining vital signs on a patient with dizziness, this patient has a change. That's an emergency. Emergencies have high urgency. So these 3 all have high urgency. Encouraging a dehydrated patient to drink, yes, important, but not urgent. So Blue came in first on that one, followed by Layla, Mava, and Trey. Yeah, that one was kind of hard, wasn't it? I know. So 13. A CNA is running late with care. Yeah, this happens every day. What should they do? 1. Inform the nurse and reorganize priorities. 2. Skip care for difficult residents. 3. Assign important tasks to another CNA. Or 4. Leave tasks incomplete. So if a CNA is running late with care, what should they do? 1. Inform the nurse and reorganize priorities. 2. Skip care for difficult residents. 3. Assign important tasks to another CNA. Or 4. Leave tasks incomplete. You've got about 10 seconds left. Go ahead and lock in your final answer. I know this one's kind of hard too, I know. These are the types of questions you might see. The right answer here is 1. Inform the nurse and reorganize priorities. Now let me talk about this real quick. Remember I said earlier that CNAs cannot assign tasks to anybody else, just not in our scope of practice. But the real problem here is that most CNAs do number 2 or 4. Most people will either skip care on difficult residents because they just don't have time to deal with it today, or they're going to leave things incomplete. And remember that anything that's not done is going to have a negative impact on the patient. So those are not good options here. Informing the nurse, always the right option, because they can help you reorganize priorities and then they can pass on to the next shift whatever wasn't done. So Zen came in first on that one, followed by Priscilla, DL, and Hamdi. Great job. All right, here we go. Question number 14. What is a criteria that CNAs should consider when prioritizing care? 1. The impact to the patient if the skill is not done. 2. Their annual review and raise criteria. 3. How likely the family is to complain. Or 4. The safe staffing ratios for their state. So what is a criteria that CNAs should consider when prioritizing care? 1. The impact to the patient if the skill is not done. 2. How likely they are to get a good review and a raise. 3. How likely the family is to complain. Or 4. Safe staffing ratios for their state. Now, this is a little tricky, guys. The right answer here is number 1. The impact to the patient if the skill is not done. So we always have to think, okay, if I can't get to this skill, how would that impact the patient? And again, that Facebook post that I saw earlier today led me to this question. And it's because the CNA did not understand if she did not turn the patient, the consequence to the patient. It's not about you. Remember, during the test, they're asking questions that will always have you focus back on the patient, because healthcare is not about you. It's about the impact of what you do on the patient. Your annual review and raise criteria don't play into it. How likely the family is to complain doesn't pay into it. And safe staffing ratios are actually going to determine the staffing roster, how they're going to divide care, but it has nothing to do with CNAs. That's management, not CNAs. All right, we're going to the last question. During an emergency, the CNA is providing care to one patient when a nurse requests help for another. The CNA should, 1, tell the nurse that they're busy providing care. 2, ask another CNA to complete the routine care. 3, ensure their patient is safe and go assist the nurse. Or 4, ignore the nurse so she knows how busy you are. So if you're helping a patient and a nurse requests help for another patient during an emergency, the CNA should, 1, tell the nurse they're busy. 2, ask another CNA to help. 3, ensure the patient is safe and then go assist the nurse. Or 4, ignore that nurse. That way she knows how busy you are. What would you do? The right answer here is, yeah, ensure your patient is safe and then go help out with that emergency. Emergencies are emergencies. Remember, emergencies always have the highest urgency. It's actually right in the name, emergency, right? So urgency is right in there. So we have to remember that if it's an emergency, we want to make sure that we're prioritizing that above everything else. Don't ever ignore the nurse. Remember, you're a nursing assistant. You're there to help them. Telling the nurse that you're busy, yeah, they know you're busy, but they've asked for help during an emergency. And remember, CNAs can never delegate. You can't ask another CNA to do a task that you have been assigned to do. So CNAs can either do the task or let the nurse know why they can't. All right, Zen came in first on that one, followed by DL, Andina, and Hamdi. Okay, so let's take a look at our overall scores, and we're going to see who came in first, second, and third. All right, Priscilla came in first today, and you get the t-shirt. DL came in second. You're going to get the card game. And Cass came in third. You will get the badge holder and some motivational gifts. So one thing real quick, I forgot to tell you earlier, I can only send these prizes out to those in the U.S. I'm not set up for international shipping yet. I will be working on that after the first of the year once my time kind of loosens up a little bit. But for right now, you have to be in the U.S. for me to ship the prizes to. So let me tell you how to claim your prizes here. All right. Why is this not going? Okay. Oops, I think I've got too many characters. Hold on a second. Okay. Sorry, I have too many characters in there. Okay. So, first place, I believe that was, I can't remember who was first place, but first place, you need to tell me which of the 3 t-shirts you want. So, the CNA Care Corps, Believe, Inspire, and Care, or, was it Believe? Hold on. I can't remember now. Hold on one second. Let's bring the prizes up here. CNA Care Crew. Become Inspire Care. That's what it was. Become Inspire Care. Let me know what color t-shirt you want, black or white, and which graphic you want. So CNA Care Corps, Believe, Inspire, Care, or this one called To Care. Either any of those 3. Let me know your size as well. So this is the email that I want you to send all of that information to. Second and third place winners, I need your screen name. I need your, hold on a minute here. There we go. I need your screen name, I need your real name, and your mailing address. Okay. Kelly says, can you try to do more of your CNA game? Oh, you mean this game show? Are you talking about the game show? Right now we do the game show twice a month on Tuesdays at 11. So it's the first Tuesday and the third Tuesday of every month at 11. I'll look at maybe throwing in a few more in there, maybe some special bonus editions. After the first of the year, my time is going to be freed up quite a bit. So I'm super excited about bringing some new things in. Blue, my puppy is fantastic. The puppy is about 20 pounds now. He's getting huge and so full of energy. Oh my goodness. Is Santa going to spoil them rotten? You bet. You bet. All right. Priscilla says, Miss Patty, are the t-shirt sizes and adult sizes? Yes. Yes. Good question, Priscilla. The t-shirts are adult sizes. If you need something different, just let me know in the email and we'll try to work with you however we need to. Just let me know what your preferences are. And if we have any questions, we'll get back in touch with you via email. Please give us just a little bit of extra time this time around to get the prizes out because we're in the middle of so many things, and my shop is open way too many hours right now. And I kind of have things scattered because we're trying to move things out. So give me just a little bit of extra time to get your prizes out to you, but I promise you they will be coming. Okay, they promise it will be coming. Oh, I'm glad that you enjoyed it, Kelly. I'm glad. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and sign off now. I hope you all have a fantastic holiday season in front of us, and that your Christmas or Hanukkah or New Year or whatever holiday you're celebrating is full of peace and light and love and joy. And that is my wish for you coming into the new year. Remember that we'll be doing this on the first and third Tuesday of each month. So I will see you guys in January, and I'll have a whole brand new outlook on life to see you in the first of the year. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you had some fun today. And if you did, tell somebody else about it. So we hope to see you on the next one. Yeah, Blue, I cannot wait to start editing those videos. You have no idea. I'm just like raring to go. All right. So until next time, guys, happy caregiving. Bye.